Take a second to subscribe to Times of Wrestling Podcast on YouTube and hit that bell notification.
What's up, everybody? This is Times of Wrestling Podcast here. I'm with Jason, Josh, and Jordan. We'll be doing a collab, special guest from Crash and Burn podcast. And we're going to share the screen and show you guys their accounts on Instagram. And we're going to go over. You guys could follow, subscribe to both of our YouTubes, follow both of our things, like and comment on each post. And so we're going to share the screen. And we're going to go to that. So first, this is DGW_show. This is our sponsors of today's podcast collab. They walk like dummies, talk like dummies, act like dummies, and they are actually dummies. And their saying is, if you don't follow, then you are a true dummy. And going on to, the next one, we're going to our channel, Times of Wrestling Podcast. And here it is, Times of Wrestling Podcast. Here it is, right over here. You'll see the YouTube link down below to go look at it, go subscribe, go look at the videos. We do a bunch of collabs, and we're on the road to 2,000. And then we're going to be going to Crash and Burn. And then I think that's how you put it. Yeah, this is how you put it. Yeah, and here it is. Yep. Just like us, they have their YouTube at the bottom. They have, am I right, 8 members of their podcast group?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. 130 followers. So they are definitely on the road to 1,000, and they will get there soon, we hope.
Everybody go follow them and subscribe.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So I will stop the share play so you guys can put your videos back on if you want.
All right.
Yeah, so today we'll be basically talking – today we'll be talking about – and I know we dropped this earlier, another podcast, just us two talking about the rumors of EC3 and Matt Cardona – and other people going to AEW or Impact, which Slammiversary is tonight. So it's a 50% chance EC3 is going to Impact. So
I'm currently watching Impact, by the way, for those of you watching the episode of the podcast. We just had a new exhibition champion in the Finesser, Chris Bay. So congratulations to Chris Bay on his first exhibition title win. By the way, guys, if you are new, I am Josh from the Crash and Burn Wrestling Podcast. Make sure you guys give us a follow on Instagram and all our social medias. And let's get this episode underway, guys, shall we?
And I'm Jason here from the Crash and Burn Wrestling Podcast. You can follow me at WrestlingPancake15. Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We finished recording our Extreme Rules Predictions episode yesterday, so give that a watch.
Yes, sir.
Definitely do that, guys. The videos are great. So going on to Slammiversary, there's many rumors speculating that EC3 will be returning in the main event. But what are your thoughts on that? I mean, EC3 gets fired twice by Impact. Would it be a smart
WWE?
Decision? Yeah, and WWE. Would it be a smart decision for him to go back to Impact and trust them again?
Yeah, I mean, it would be a smart decision because WWE didn't really treat him as much as you wanted him to be treated well. I feel like Impact, he was a big star in Impact. I feel like he was the man down there. I think he was the face of the company, and I really enjoyed him when he became world champion because he really worked his ass up to the top. Yeah. And EC3, if he wants to go wherever he wants, there were rumors spreading around. If you guys saw the promo video he cut, there were rumors going around saying he was going to AEW. Mm-hmm. If you guys saw that promo video he did on Twitter. Mm-hmm. But we shall see what happens from there tonight. As you know, Slammiversary is happening right now. I actually have it on my iPad right now while I'm doing this episode of the podcast. But we shall see what happens during the main event. It could be rumors Eric Young could be the mystery man, EC3, or an Impact original. So
Jason,
we shall see.
You could give us your thoughts on that too.
Well, for me personally, I don't watch Impact. I mean, I'm mainly an AEW and WWE guy, but my thoughts on EC3, he wasn't treated right in WWE when he went to the main roster as much as I wanted him to, because Vince was stupid enough to treat him like a jobber when he has so much in him. He's one of the most talented people I've seen in NXT. Yeah. So I thought it was right for him to stay in NXT. I wish that would have happened.
Yeah. So Jordan, we know your thoughts. You could repeat that.
I just think he'd be kind of stupid to go back to both places where he's been, mistreated twice already. Why go back for a third time? I think he would. I think he would be smarter to go to AEW because he would get higher pay, and everything in AEW is a first for AEW. So it's not really on repeat like that you see in the matches like you see in WWE or you see in Impact. This is like a
Right.
first time for everything in AEW. So I just think he'd be smarter to choose AEW.
Yeah. So
Yeah, of course.
I'm gonna drop some facts bombs. First off, I mean WWE. I can't slash them, but over 200 wrestlers at one point. Probably using 30 of them, and that means 170 wrestlers backstage or at home getting paid without wrestling. Which I don't think the wrestlers just want to get paid. I mean, they train for years. Being independent wrestlers are going to different companies to earn their way to the biggest grand stage in pro wrestling in the pro wrestling community. And of course, like all four of us said, EC3 of course was not treated right by WWE. And dropping the facts,
Of
I mean,
course.
Cody Rhodes was, I mean, they didn't use him as good as AW's using him right now. I can't say the same for John Moxley. I mean, they used him, but at the end they did not. And for all of them, I mean, they didn't use them, and now look at them. We have Cody Rhodes as the TNT champion, and we have John Moxley, aka Dean Ambrose, to some of the WWE fans, as the world champion. So this is just how AEW is going to do it, and also rumors are speculating that EC3, the building EC3 was on for his promo video, was actually in Jacksonville, and that the ring he was at wrestling against I don't know the guy's name, but his there's a link to his Instagram, was all that ring was also that studio was also in Jacksonville. So this is also saying that Daly's place is in Jacksonville, which could be meaning that EC3 is in Jacksonville training to get ready to go on AW Dynamite. And also Cody Rhodes has an open challenge Wednesday. So could this mean that EC3 will be going to AW Dynamite
This coming Wednesday?
Yeah, this coming Wednesday on
I'm
AW
excited to see
Dynamite.
it.
MJF and Cody Rhodes, both not announced who they're going against, have open matches. So could we be seeing Matt Cardona and EC3 dropping by and maybe a reunion? EC3 and MJF, two of the cockiest guys in probably pro wrestling, go against each other, and see the two best friends, Matt Cardona and Cody Rhodes, go against each other. We will see.
I could see maybe that could happen. I would absolutely love to see EC3 or Matt Cardona, aka Zack Ryder, come and start off fresh because, you know, since WWE, they kind of treated him not as they wanted you to see him as, but I felt like, you know, Ryder, after Zack Ryder got released by WWE, he's actually become better, and it's actually, you know, things, you know, if you saw on Instagram, they debuted today a new internet championship, and I'm looking forward to see what Matt Cardona, aka Zack Ryder, is going to do in his career going forward. So,
Okay. Jason, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, I just wish them the best, and I hope to see them in AEW to get a fresh start in that company, so that way they can be treated the stars that we want them to be treated as.
yeah.
Like unlike how they were treated back in WWE.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Jordan,
Mhm.
what are your thoughts on this?
I just think I would like to see him have a fresh start, like they said. A fresh start, and also being able to win more championships, because anybody who came from WWE that is now in AEW, they were known as like more like outcasts, and now they're winning championships and main eventing in all AEW episodes. So I just want to see him win more championships.
Yeah, I mean, lots of AEW superstars that are at AEW were at WWE. I mean, they weren't used at like through 2018 to 2019, but I would have to say they were definitely used. And like you could say, Cody was definitely used from 2015 to 16, or in any of those ages when he was Cody Rhodes with Ted. I don't know, Ted DiBiase. Is that
Ted DiBiase.
Yeah, he was definitely used when they were working with Randy Orton. That was definitely one of his prime times, which I think
Legacy.
we all liked him. I mean, Dean Ambrose was definitely used too, but I think at the end of their careers they weren't used because, I mean, WWE, there's only certain there's certain characters you could only run for a certain amount of time before they run out and they're not going to be used anymore. And I think WWE gets that, but also, I mean, that's not what you should be doing with wrestlers. I mean, of course, this is a hard business. You can't be running the same character for 2-3 years. I mean, you could do that with John Cena or Randy Orton or The Miz, of course, because that never runs out. That's like always cocky or funny or very that's like very big, and it goes on. But I think that you could say they weren't used, but at the end of the day, we know they were used in their prime.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
So let's talk about Fight for the Fallen. I mean, I don't want to be rude, but like I don't think it was that. I think it was a little bit like what's the word? Predictable. I think it was a little predictable. The last match was definitely not predictable. I mean, Jon Moxley versus Brian Cage was the most shocking match I think I've seen in AEW. Because in my thoughts, I mean, I thought for a wrestler they could overhype so much, give him a title, give him a Taz, a trainer, the suplex machine, and do all this stuff, hype him up like that, and then make him lose. I mean, that was and that was just so surprising. And then seeing Darby Allin come at the end, that was just like that was the deal breaker for me.
Yeah.
I knew that was a good match.
Future world champion in my book.
Yeah. Wait, who? Darby Allin?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of rumors speculating that it could be Darby Allin versus Brian Cage versus Jon Moxley at the next pay-per-view, which I think we'd all like to see. Wouldn't you guys like to see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, you got the strength, you got the athleticism, you
Yeah.
got the fast moving ability. So I just think that would be like one hell of a main event match.
Yeah.
Probably at All Out.
Yeah, if it was Darby Allin, I mean, I like to see him as a future world champion in AEW.
Yeah.
I feel like he's got the brightest talent. I mean, he's actually one of my personal favorites. And, I mean, for Brian Cage, I mean, there's something going around, I believe, because if you saw on Darby's skateboard, it was half of Darby's face and half of Brian Cage's face. So there's a possibility maybe there could be a rivalry between Cage and Darby at the next AEW pay-per-view or even going forward with Dynamite. I mean,
Yeah.
two of the brightest futures in the wrestling business.
Yeah.
Don't think that would really happen. Like, I mean, that would happen, but I don't think AEW would be so smart to do that because, I mean, it would be really unrealistic for Darby Allin to beat Brian Cage with that size of a man and Dean Ambrose, like, barely beating him. How would Darby Allin with, like, his size and, like, we know that a lot of wrestlers that have, like, their finishing moves as high-flying moves don't usually get wins because it's so easy to counter them. So, I mean, wouldn't this be an obvious win for Brian Cage if they go against each other?
Since of the size comparison, Brian Cage, you know, he's bigger, muscular, stronger. Darby Allin's kind of more like a lightweight, I guess you could say. But if I had to choose who would win a match, I'd like to see Darby win. But in terms of strength and in terms of power, Brian Cage, because Brian Cage, they always call him the Machine, and you know, he's unstoppable. So if they're gonna make him into a bright star, I could see him becoming the world champion.
Yeah.
I mean, it's too early for Brian Cage to have a title because you know recently he signed with a company like beginning at Double or Nothing.
Right.
But so he needs time to like adjust to the company. So there was no way he would win the title over Jon Moxley.
Yeah.
This past Wednesday, Fight for the Fallen, but for sure in the future he'll have a title opportunity and win it.
Yeah. I think that's kind of similar to Lance Archer versus Cody because I mean Lance Archer being so dominant and just starting off in AEW, I think we saw that. I mean, bringing that type of man in and putting it against those type of wrestlers, including Marco Stunt, which is literally, I think, like doubled down his size and I can't even say it, triple down his weight. Like putting him against him is just like you already know he was making it to the gauntlet, and you know Cody Rhodes is making it too. I mean he's their face, and so like that's also like Brian Cage. I mean he just signed and he's being so dominant that why would they make him be dominant and get to a superstar and give him a title like when he's only signed for a month? So yeah, that goes into what I think Jason said it or Josh. I don't know, either one of you said it. That they're not going to give a championship to somebody that just signed and that he needs more time to be in AEW to get a championship. And like you said, Josh, I mean, I'd really like to see Darby Allin with a championship. I mean, that would be great, and he would definitely keep that title for a while. I mean, if you see Cody and John Moxley keep it, I think Darby Allin could definitely put some damage into the roster.
Yeah. What I like to see though is basically, the young stars, not like I like to see the faces of the company win titles like Kenny, Hangman, Cody, the Young Bucks, etc.
Mm-hmm.
But I like to see the younger faces get a chance at championship gold. Like you have guys like Darby Allin, Brian Cage.
Yeah.
You have Private Party for the tag team division. You have Best Friends. You got guys that are great talent from the indie scene, and they're getting signed by major companies. And basically, people look up to these guys from the indie days, and they go, "Oh, they could be champions. They could be like big stars." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But but in terms of champions go for the TNT title, I like to see more of the undercard go, like the undercard guys take the title from Cody, because Cody's kind of like a main card guy. But they don't. But the thing is, with their company, it's basically they're trying to make the younger faces popular talent, even though the faces that run the company, like Cody, the Bucks, and Kenny, are the major faces that everybody knows them by. But I could see the faces of the company and younger talent winning gold. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
And
what do you guys
for me
think?
personally, I thought the TNT Championship, I thought they created it for the mid card talent to just make like a mid card title. So after Cody drops the title, I could see like mid card talent like Darby Allin, like Brian Cage, like any of the mid card talent in AEW.
Joey
Win the title
Janela.
after Cody finishes his reign.
Right.
What do you think on that, Jordan?
I mean, mine isn't really like a comment. It's more like a question. I kind of want to ask this. Other than EC3 or Matt Cardona, who do you guys think will answer the open challenge on Dynamite next week?
That's a tough one.
I'm gonna say it's gonna be like the surprise opponent.
Yeah.
Do you have any guesses, Jason? Anybody that hasn't been signed?
EC3 can debut in AEW, maybe.
Maybe Sue, Trent's mom. I mean,
No.
You never know.
Yeah. I mean, with an open challenge like Cody, like when it says open challenge and it says Cody, I feel like there's no chance that it's 100% chance it has to be a special guest. Like it can't.
Yeah.
They already said that like multiple times. I mean, they can't do that. But going on, or what do you guys think? I mean, EC3 is a big topic too.
I like to see a surprise entrant, like you guys said, Matt Cardona. Maybe Brian Myers, Kurt Hawkins.
Yeah.
Maybe.
That's a good guess.
Right.
If I had to choose somebody off the roster to be a surprise, I would have to go with somebody that hasn't been seen yet mostly, and that person would have to be one of the brightest talents in AEW today. And I feel like he deserves much better than just being in the crowd. I want to see maybe Matt Hardy.
Yeah, man. That would be really big.
Matt Hardy. Yeah.
I mean, Matt Hardy, since he debuted in AEW, I mean, I like what he's doing. I mean, it was kind of like a rumor that he was going to go to All Elite and help. Because if you guys saw the Being the Elite video, you saw they went to the Hardy compound. And that way, that was a clue. So I like what he's doing with Private Party as being their coach/manager. I kind of like that, since both Quinn and Isaiah Cassidy admired the Hardys growing up as young fans.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've seen Private Party in the indie scene. They're one of the best tag teams out there. And when they got signed to AEW, I'm like, these are future tag team champions in my book. As much as the match they had with the Young Bucks at the last House of Glory show, if you guys are from New York watching this podcast, there's a company called House of Glory. That's where the guys like Private Party and the Young Bucks got built up from, and that's how they became big stars.
Yeah, I've heard of them.
Yeah. So House of Glory, there was a match of Private Party and the Young Bucks, and it was the Young Bucks' last indie match. It was their final indie match before All Elite Wrestling. And Private Party was their opponents, and it was a stellar match. If you guys haven't seen it, go check it out. But I could see, and I feel like the Young Bucks can be like role models to these young up and coming teams because they believe in every talent that All Elite Wrestling signs. Because they're not like WWE where they're like, oh, we're gonna treat this young talent like a jobber and place him in the catering room. They're basically willing, if you're either like gay, lesbian, etc., bisexual, whatever. They don't care what race or sex you are. They think if you're an elite athlete, they want to sign you, and that's what I like about the company, that they're very I guess you could say very open about everybody, and they want to treat everybody fair, and they're fair.
Yeah. But going on to something I just found, I guess Impact Wrestling dropped the trailer before all of this, and I looked very closely because I did a slow-mo on my photos, and it looks like you could see in the background EC3, I mean, with his old hair, and then it just says E in the middle of it. So could that be hinting to something about Impact and EC3? I mean, I just saw that, so that kind of shocked me. Yeah.
All I know was Heath Slater came out, and he's not going Heath Slater or Heath Miller. He's just going by the name Heath, which is fine with me because and he was talking about, I don't know if he's officially signed, but we all know the trailer dropped at midnight last night. Gallows and Anderson were signed by Impact.
I saw that.
Yeah, and another thing is too, the Motor City Machine Guns TNA Originals return tonight at Slammiversary to fight the Rascals, which basically I love the motor. When I first watched TNA back in 2009, when they had all the originals like Styles, Kazarian, Daniels, etc., I was a huge mark for the Motor City Machine Guns. I loved Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley. They were one of the best tag teams I saw out there. And I was like, it was a rumor going around too saying, oh, the Motor City Machine Guns could be making a comeback in Impact Wrestling. So with going forward with that, I was very happy to see them. And I was very happy to see Chris Sabin. And I hope that Motor City stays with Impact and fights a couple more matches because it brings you back to the old days in TNA.
Yeah. So going on to the cold topic we have not talked about yet. Matt Cardona. I mean, Matt Cardona, I might be wrong. I might be right. I might be right. I don't know. But in my opinion, I don't think Matt Cardona is going to Impact. That's in my opinion, that's for sure. I mean, I think there's only one choice he has, only one choice everybody could tell, and I think it's AEW. So that's why I think for sure he's going. It has to be him going against Cody or MJF. It's basically
right.
95 to 100% chance because he also, just like EC3, posted a 12 a.m. thing where I guess they both had the same release time, I think maybe one day apart. So he got released. So there's any chance that both of them could be going to AEW. But of course, I think we all know this. If EC3 is not at Impact's trailer tonight or pay-per-view tonight, then it's for sure he's going to AEW. Yeah. So just talking about some prices. Josh, what was the price for the pay-per-view? Because I just wanted to know. I didn't know.
Bro, the price for the pay-per-view was, I believe, $40.
Okay.
$40. That's not bad, actually.
Yeah, that's not even that bad, to be honest. Just wait till you hear this. Jordan, what was the pay-per-view? What was the price for the pay-per-view for what was it? Double or Nothing?
Double or Nothing.
Yeah, 60. How much was that?
It's $50 for all AEW pay-per-views.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
No, actually on mine it showed $59.95 or something.
Wait a second. I just got word that the Motor City Machine Guns are coming out right now on Slammiversary after a match.
Crazy.
They have another match? Oh, speaking of Impact Wrestling, since we're still on that topic apparently, I think with the Good Brothers, they said they're going to make an appearance tonight at Slammiversary. And if you go back a couple years, weren't they in Aces and Eights?
Luke Gallows was, I remember.
Yeah.
When he was done. Yeah, Luke Gallows was.
Yeah, so could that mean Bully Ray and the Aces and Eights? And with Impact also having a future champion, Ace Austin, who people have already had rumors of him possibly joining the Aces and Eights too.
I would think, I actually forgot about this one person because they said it could be a TNA original, somebody backstage. I actually forgot about this person. He was a TNA original, and that is the greatest man that ever lived in Austin Aries.
Oh,
But I
Okay.
believe Austin Aries, I don't know what he's up to nowadays. But I was just thinking, thinking to my head, I'm like, who? This could be a TNA original. And Austin Aries just popped in my head. And I'm like,
Well, yeah.
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 Well, I also think though, they also stated that he's not returning alone. So could that mean one or two people coming with him, or a whole stable of people? Because you never know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk for like 5 more minutes because I just got a very mean message from Zoom saying your time's running out. Not cool. Zoom, not cool.
Not cool, Zoom.
Yeah. So we'll just talk about one more subject. Or no, I think we covered everything. Just you know what? We're gonna take the next like 2 to 3 minutes to talk about everything else. So can you guys turn off your screens for 1 second? Just
Sure.
All right.
So yeah. So let me go to this, share screen, then go to. So everybody, remember, go follow Crash and Burn Wrestling Podcast right here.
You already know.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
One more time, I'm gonna say it so in case you didn't watch the beginning, and maybe some of you won't watch the end. Hopefully you do. Just go follow Crash and Burn Wrestling Podcast. They are one of the best podcasts in our opinion. They have 8
Thank you, guys.
so you'll never run out of podcasts. You'll never
Appreciate
run out of people to see on their podcast. And yeah, are you guys gonna start doing like interviews maybe like with other wrestlers?
We just had an interview with Muscleman Malcolm on our new interview series, Crash and Burn Behind the Ring. If you guys haven't checked that out yet, it's on our YouTube channel,
Yeah,
as well
it
as
was a
our
banger.
podcast episode.
Yeah,
Yes,
no,
sir.
I saw that on your thing. So yeah, also adding on to that, we both started I guess they interviewed somebody. We're starting to interview people too. So that's just adding another thing onto their podcast. So gives you even a bigger chance of watching them. And then we're just gonna go to one more thing, and then because we gotta show you guys one more time. And then let me go here. And then okay, here it is. So again, go like, subscribe to both YouTube channels. Go subscribe to this one down below. Go subscribe to theirs down below. DM us at Podcast Dude and DM me at Podcast Man. We go look at our YouTube. We don't have any other accounts, but if you guys want us to make another account, like maybe a Twitter to tweet other things, then you guys can. Do you guys have any Twitter, like any other accounts that you guys would like to shout out?
Yes, Crash and Burn does have a Twitter. We're on Twitter as our @ is Crash and Burn Pod on Twitter. So if you guys want to check that out, we post some stuff on Twitter. We post stuff on our Instagram. That's where everybody is active, and we post stuff on Instagram mostly. So we're gonna try to post more on Twitter.
And you can follow my Twitter at WrestlingKid16 and Josh's Twitter at Josh'sToyShow4Y, all caps.
Yes, sir.
So everybody else, go follow me at Trent_on_the_run. I just post some personal stuff, so all that. Go email me if you want to get further to maybe bookings. Like if you want to do a podcast with us, which you guys don't want to reach us on DMs, you guys can reach me on email to get us to go on one of your podcasts at Trent0221@iCloud.com or Trent0221@yahoo.com. And going on to our last thing, two more things to talk about. Go follow our sponsors at DGW_show, Dummies Gone Wild, do podcast skits. One of the best skits I've seen, in my opinion, from young people. And yeah, their saying is they walk like dummies, talk like dummies, act like dummies. They are true dummies. And if you're not following Dummies Gone Wild, then you are a true dummy. And Jordan, wouldn't you have to agree? You're pretty stupid not to follow Dummies Gone Wild. Wouldn't you agree, Jordan?
Yeah. I mean, whoever said we really were dummies, I mean, we really act like dummies. We teach it act like dummies. But if you really aren't watching it and you really aren't following us, you really are a stupid dummy.
Yeah, man, you are.
Yeah.
And then the last thing we'll be talking about, we like to shout this out. But shop AEW, the latest, the newest merch. You can get Orange Cassidy merch. You get all elite wrestling shirts. You can get the Le Champion. You can get Darby Allin shirts. A future champion, we hope. You get MJF, best friends with Sue in the car. And also, yes, $13 masks, but the best quality. And you don't see these cheap of masks just for putting print on them. So that is all from us. We will be done with this. And everybody go follow everything like we said. And thank you. Yep. So
Thank you.
everybody.